Morning, Nanda. This is Dr. P. Srinivasulu. Welcome to the lecture series, Probability to Stochastic Process. Today, we are going to discuss about Introduction to Probability. Now, we know probability is very important role plays in our life because any anything or any work we are doing depends upon entirely on probability. The best example is whenever we are playing the game, the selection of both or whenever we are going to play the cricket. So the selection of batting first or fielding first, it is an uncertainty. So that's why we are using the tossing the coin based on the luck. So which team we are going to get the uh, won the toss. So they can choose option, first option. So like that, everywhere there may be, we are going to be depend on this probability concept. So probability means uncertainty. So we don't predict this one. We don't predict exactly. So definitely there is some possibility. There is some information. We are going to get some information that is called probability. So whenever we are tossing the coin, what is the probability of getting head or what is the probability of getting uh, tail? Yeah, there is a 50-50 probability. So similarly, whenever we are rolling the dice, what is the probability of getting 1? What is the probability of getting 2? What is the probability of getting 3? What is the probability of getting 4, 5, 6? These are all are probability 1 by 6. So there is an equal probability. Like that, whenever if you take a deck of cards, probability of getting heart, queen, jack, king, like that, pick up a card from the deck of cards, there is a probability. Entirely, it is a we don't exactly say. We need to find how much percentage of probability of getting that particular event and that particular card or particular head, tossing the coin whenever we are going to choose a head. So whenever there is a choosing tossing the coin, there is a probability is 50-50%. But coming for rolling the dice and pick up the card, there is a probability is less. Now, that's why you see some standard statements for this. Probability of A is equal to 0. So, probability of A is equal to 0 means there is no any information. Maximum we are going to be get, we are not going to be predict this one. So, that almost definitely not occur. Almost it is not going to be get that event. Best example, sunrise in the east. It is a daily activity. Every day the sun is rising in the east. There is no any information. Probability means there is some information we need to find. So it is a certain thing. Certain thing. So what is the probability? Always one. Whenever there is an uncertainty, then we need to find out that uncertainty content. Now here, if a probability of A is equal to 0 means it is an impossible event. There is not going to be occur that particular event. Now, if probability of A is close to 0, means there may be a 10% we are going to get that particular event. Close to 0, it is not equals to 0. So 90% it is not going to be occur. There may be a 10% of chances are there for getting that event. So the occurrence of that event. Next, if probability of A is 0.5, so it is a equal probability. It is like a toss in the coin. Whenever we are tossing the coin, the probability is a equal probability. So it is a 0.5, 0.5, 50%. Next, if a probability of A close to 1 means 90% chances of getting that particular event, 90% chances of occurring of that particular event. Next, if a probability of A is equal to 1 means like sunrise and raise. These are certain things. So there is no any alternate discussion for that. So there is no uncertainty. So that case is called definitely one. So these are all are a probability. Now we see in the in an experiment, whenever we are doing this some experiment, there is some events A, B, C are possible outcomes A, B, C. Then if we apply it is like we are going to consider that is like a sample space, total sample space. In the total sample space, there is outcomes, getting an outcome A, getting an outcome B, getting an outcome C, or getting the event A, getting event B, getting event C. So probability of A you need to find out, probability of B you are going to find out, probability of C. All probabilities if we add, we are going to get it is a 1. So it is the generally a probability meaning definition. Now, in day-to-day life, where we are applying this concept of probabilities, most of the time we are going to use this concept in games and sports. Next one is in the board games. The board games also, now we are using this concept of probability. Next, another one important thing, medical decisions. These are common. Sports and board games are all common. Then medical decision. So whenever a doctor, uh, suppose I am the patient, suppose he is the specialist in some uh, heart surgery or bypass surgery or any other cancer treatment, the patient is going to be checked whether this doctor has a failure rate is more or success rate is more. Suppose the tractor has a success rate means again it is entirely depends upon probability. So whenever is the success rate is more, suppose I am the patient, I am going to choose that particular doctor because that surgery cases whenever uh, track history, the previous history, suppose the success rate is 95%, then definitely I am going to choose that particular doctor. So here I am depending on probability. So like that, there is a probability. Other thing is the weather. It is weather conditions are very important. Suppose if we see the weather today at 10 o'clock morning. Next, if you see after 10:30, is it expect what is the weather conditions? Every time weather conditions we are going to be depends upon that weather conditions department, that particular department, they can alert what is the situation of coming 3 days, coming 4 days. They are going to be monitor the earth continuously throughout the whatever the happening in the earth. So they can alert the public. So most probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we are going to get the weather conditions. They can update. So here also we are going to entirely depends upon the probability. So whether that may be come or may not come. So probability means that is the thing, whether it may become or may not become. Now, after knowing this, what is the probability? Now we are going the set theory. In the probability concept, set theory plays very major role. So the set, what is a set? In that, suppose there is a set A, there is some elements are there. In that elements, there may be some numbers, real numbers, or positive numbers, or negative numbers, or complex numbers. So depends upon the set, we are going to be give some definite depends upon the elements present in that set. We are going to be give some names for that set. So the set theory, whenever we are analyzing the set theory, it is very useful in the probability concept for analyzing the problems. So if we see some standard definitions for this set theory sets. Now first one you see I am going to frame a one set. The set is set of vowels. So set of vowels, A, E, I, O, U. So I am going to write set A is equal to A, comma, E, comma, I, comma, O, comma, U. It is the one set I am framing. Like that, that is our choice. We need to frame a set. You see, second example, third example, if you see, second example, describe the positive numbers. So describe a set of positive numbers. So in that set, there is all positive numbers. We see in the third set, A is equal to some 1, 2, 3. Set B, some 3 to 1. And then question is it set A is equal to set B? So if you observe here, in the set A, the elements are 1, 2, 3. The set B, also the elements are 3 to 1. But whatever the elements are present in the set A, the same elements are also present in the set B. So these two sets are equal sets. Okay, I'm going to stop this class. Continue the next class.